Hi, followers of the Public Library channel. Firstly, before starting, we invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new. Also, don't forget to like the video. Airplanes and jetliners are a limitless source of awe for people, but let's face it, we also can be afraid of them sometimes. It can be especially unsettling to know you are about to fly on an older plane. But you can learn the age of your plane and find out many other things airlines won't tell you easily. Older airplanes are really bad for your jet lag and overall comfort. Their cabins are made of aluminum and the air inside gets really dry during a flight. It may make your skin dry, you'll feel thirsty all the time, and eyes will get itchy. The next day after a flight you won't feel any better, just believe me. Other than that, older planes won't fly worse than younger ones, so you won't experience any difference that a big bottle of water and a moisturizer won't fix for you. The old age for a normal commercial airplane starts somewhere around 24 years. But even an old plane can still fly without significant risk as long as there's a way to repair it. The problem is, an old plane is difficult to maintain. At some point, something so costly and important breaks that it's easier to just build and buy a shiny new plane than to repair the old one. Somewhere between 27 and 30 years, any plane faces the inevitable retirement. But not all of them end their days in the middle of some desert rusting and falling apart. An aviation salvage service then decides their fate. Some old planes still contain a lot of valuable parts that can still be used. There's a huge market breathing and feeding off these salvages. The rest of the plane usually gets scrapped and recycled. You can find information about your flight on the page of the airline you choose. Here you'll see a coded name of your particular flight, which you can use to find info about your plane with special services or apps. They usually have a map with all the flights monitored online right during their time in the air. But most importantly, they will list a history of a plane's flights. This is important to know because the wear of a plane depends on the number of pressurization cycles it goes through during its service. Simply put, the more times an airplane goes through taking off and landing, the more it gets worn. And airplanes going on long-distance flights don't age as fast as those doing it more often. Some planes will have a tablet hanging right near the cabin's entrance, made of metal or covered with some sort of fire protection. This sign will provide information about the plane including its serial number and sometimes the date of production. Even if the latter isn't listed here, you can't quickly search the age of the plane using its serial number. An older plane will have weary seats with no entertainment systems built in them. Carpets will be tattered too, there will be a yellow tint to walls, and probably some ceiling panels will not sit tight in their places. Go to the bathroom, there might be an ashtray, a sign of really old times. But most probably you'll never meet anything like this. Any commercial airplane regularly goes through lots of health check procedures between flights including special ultrasonic testing, several ultrasonic beams scanning materials of the fuselage to detect any imperfections and possible cracks. It helps to keep passengers safe. Flight names seem random, but they can tell lots of things. The first two letters are a carrier's code. Next go the number. If it's odd, the plane's assigned for flights west or southwards, and if it's even, east or northwards. Long-distance flights usually have shorter numbers. Sometimes you can see these rules not working, but those flights are just exceptions. Bad weather or turbulence scares us the most, but pilots are more worried about updrafts. The heated ground will emit an upward stream of hot air and make it less flyable for a plane. Airlines won't tell you that up front, but the safest flights take off in the morning when the ground is still not warm enough. Your safety is the #1 priority on a flight. A good example, pilots of your plane never eat the same food or they eat separately from each other. This helps to avoid even the minimal possibility that they both get sick. One pilot should taste the food, they'll wait for an hour to see the result, and then the other can eat too. If you're sure about your safety, but you always feel cold during flights, choose seats in the back of the plane. If you like it fresh and cool, your seats are in front rows. The safest seats though are 5 rows from each emergency exit. Planes are always bending and shaking a bit. The speed and pressure of air is too huge to prevent that, but they were made to withstand it. If you want to feel less of these disturbances, book seats in the middle of the plane, near wings. It's the most stable place. But don't look outside too much, wings are bending too, and it's also absolutely normal. You don't need to worry if a seatbelt sign starts blinking over your seat, just follow the instructions. But if the sign appears for attendance of your flight, this is how you know that it's going to get shaky soon. Still, it doesn't mean something bad is going to happen at all. Pilots mostly don't tell all the information they have about problems during the flight. It may cause panic and nobody wants that. Instead, they say smoother versions. Like, they will tell you that there is a cloudy area up ahead, but in reality, that means pilots can't see anything outside. So-called air pockets are also just a soft name for an initial shake that may mean upcoming turbulence. Your laptop is not welcome on an airplane, not because it may cause some electromagnetic disturbances or something, but mostly because it effectively becomes a heavy projectile in an extreme situation. The same goes for portable game consoles and smartphones, which are also getting bigger every year. Airlines also won't tell you that pilots have a really tough job. They work all day and then they sleep in hotel rooms, some of which barely allow having a good rest, then it's another really long working day, and the story repeats itself. Still, pilots say that driving a car is a much more frightening experience for them than piloting a plane, even if they haven't slept enough hours lately. Yep, I can understand that one. Finally, thank you for your kind attention. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.